Teachers have their work cut out for them when it comes to student behavior, and one teacher in particular is going viral after they posted about a consequence they decided to use in their classroom. We're going to be looking at an article and a TikTok video. The article says, "Teacher takes action over what sixth graders do to classroom. Not acceptable." Published on June 17th, 2025 on Newsweek. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to give a reaction to the article and the video. But before we get into that, quick reminder, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button. Also consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss out on all the great educational news videos and stories I have coming your way. So let's dive into this article first. It says here, when her sixth grade class left their classroom in disarray, Michigan school teacher Savannah Pavk took a stand and has been widely cheered online for her actions. In a video on TikTok with over 1.1 million views since being shared earlier this month, Pavk shared footage of the messy classroom and the note she left on the whiteboard at the end of the day. It read, "Janitorial, please do not clean the floor. The students will clean up after themselves tomorrow." The caption said, "Sixth graders should know better." Pavk, 34, transitioned into education after a decade as an engineer and regularly shares content about her experiences in the classroom. This was not the first week of school. They knew the expectations, Pavk told Newsweek, revealing the reasons for her actions. "I think it's important as teachers to show these life lessons and that they cannot just expect others to do everything for them." Now, I like this article because I work in middle school. I've been working with seventh graders and I'll be working with sixth grade this next year. And she's working with just about the same age sixth graders and trying to teach a lesson in her classroom. And it seems like people online seem to agree with her stance on this. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at this TikTok video so we can see exactly what we're talking about. Ooh. Wow. I liked the end. I hadn't seen this video yet, but I liked the end where she showed the shots of the floor. You can see papers on the floor and scissors on the floor. More torn up paper. It looks like a highlighter. It's just all kinds of mess. All kinds of mess. Yeah. I have seen this kind of thing in the classroom. But usually the reason that this happens, at least in my case, is at the end of the day, we run out of time for some reason. Maybe there was like a fire drill at the end of the day, or we just lost track of time. My time management wasn't that great. And it's kind of like we had to rush to pack up and get students out the door. And you might be in the middle of an activity and it's like, okay, we need to clean up fast. We need to hurry up and pack up fast. And even if we have a pack up or cleanup routine, students are so focused on just getting out of the classroom. They're like, I'm going to miss the bus. I'm going to miss my ride. My grandmother's going to leave me. They say all these things and are trying to just get out the door and just, it seems like everything goes out the window. And I've had this situation like this where it is just, it's awful. Because normally, you know, we have a pack up plan and scissors and all that kind of stuff. There's a place for everything in the classroom, but when chaos goes down and it erupts, students just, they forget, or they just don't care, or they think someone else will do it, and everybody thinks someone else will do it, and then nobody does it. Nobody cleans up. So I like what this teacher is doing here. Now, going back to the article, it actually says that despite the note, the janitor did clean up the mess that night, but Pavk still addressed the issue with her students the next day. The custodian did not see my sign and she did sweep up all the mess, but the next day we had a discussion about the mess and how disrespectful that was. So, yeah, the students didn't actually have to clean up the classroom, unfortunately, but I'm glad that the teacher took the time to address that with her students. Now, normally I'm not a fan of class wide punishment or class wide consequence where you can't really uh, you can't identify the culprits, the perpetrators who are responsible for this type of mess or whatever behavior, and so you just decide to give a consequence to the whole class. I'm not normally a fan of that type of thing, but in some cases, you feel like that's your only option because the issue is so widespread that it's like everybody needs to learn from this. And even the people who may have put up their materials and may not be directly responsible for the mess, it's like you also want to teach them to hold others accountable. Like, you know, you don't have to clean up this mess, but you should at least tell your classmates, hey, you need to put this away. You need to pick this up. You can't leave it like that. You know that Mr. Harris doesn't allow this, so please take care of this. Um, so it is a learning it is a learning moment for all students, I think. And this isn't that big of a deal. It's like clean up the class. Another thing that makes this difficult in my case, because if this happens at the end of the day, you have multiple classes. You got like 6, 7 classes. I had 5 classes this past year. And if the students at the end of the day, in my last class, leave the classroom like this, the people who come in the morning are a completely different class who had nothing to do with this. So it's really difficult um, to do this kind of thing, to teach this kind of lesson anyways, or hold that class responsible because that class isn't seeing you first thing in the morning. So it's a little strange. So I don't understand. Maybe her schedule was different, and that's how she was going to handle that. But this is what when teachers, this is what we refer to as a logical consequence. This is a logical consequence. You you do something that has a logical repercussion, and I'm a big fan of this type of like you did this, you brought it on yourself. You made a mess. You got to clean it up. The solution in the future is to stay organized and to keep your stuff together. So, really interesting story. Great video. Um, like I said, I love these shots of the classroom. This brings back flashbacks. Um, yeah, at least you see at least one person put their chair up. So you got you got one student who is trying to do at least something. So give them credit. Who was sitting right there. But anyways, that's all I have for you in this video. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss out on all the great educational news stories I have coming your way. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.